Oh, I can't forget myself. The peace that I'm missing, it kills me inside. I need help, oh please give me back this one part, this one third. I'm sorry I lost it. No, I let my weapons fall. I'm drowning in the fears, and now I know that I will fall again and let it go, but I can't stop to run away. To run away.
Hi, good morning. Sorry, good evening, everyone. I am so glad that you're with us. Firstly, I would like to apologize for the delay on our side. We had some technical issues, but now we are fully back online and we are good to go. Greetings, everybody who have tuned in just now. I'm really sorry for the delay. I hope all of you are relaxed. You're having your tea. You are catching up on something. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to our My Uniraza YouTube channel. Yeah. Now, without further delays, I'm going to straight away go into the introduction, and then I'll be introducing all the speakers for today. Now, knowing how to balance a fast-paced environment can help make your job easier. Let's see how true that is today. And there are various ways to do this, such as being fully prepared professionally in your own fields. Equipping yourself with the right qualification and skills will surely elevate your position at work. With the world advancing in digital innovations, especially since the COVID-19 hit, our work environment has become fast paced and it can be very demanding to a certain extent. But you can make it fun and have a fulfilling experience if you know how to navigate them. With our great speakers for today, an interesting topic: 6 effective ways to develop yourself professionally in today's fast-paced world, we will discuss further with our great speakers, and they will share their knowledge to all viewers out there. But before we go any further, let's have a look at our corporate video first. Good evening, everyone, and good evening to our wonderful speakers here, and one hailing all the way from Pakistan. So I'm going to just give a brief introduction of all our speakers here before we start. Okay, first I would love to introduce Professor Dr. Barjoyai Bardai. He is a professor at Graduate School of Business in Uniraza. Now, he is no stranger to the world of academia and as well as the industry. I'm sure you have seen him on TV several times. Now, he has studied in Business Harvard School and in the University of London. He was also the managing director in Akhbar Unit Trust, which launched a 250 million unit trust funds. He had formed Perdana Technology Venture and various things he had done. Now, besides championing the Wakaf development by organizing global Wakaf conferences all over the world, including Malaysia, Turkey, Russia, UK, Bangkok, Indonesia, and recently did a global virtual conference in 2020. He also teaches and supervises PhD students in various local universities such as UK University Technology, Uniraza, which is our university, and University Industri Selangor. So nearly 100 PhD students have graduated under his research supervision. Thank you so much, Dr. Barjoyai, for being here, for availing your time. Okay, I'm going to also introduce Assistant Professor Dr. Azrul Fazwan, who is an assistant professor in the graduate school at Uniraza. He's currently teaching here at Uniraza, and expertise is applied statistics. Okay, he received his PhD from University Malaya, where he focused on multi-level modeling, structural equation modeling, and latent class analysis. He also conducts quantitative research in early childhood education, mental health care, integrating technology in teaching and learning, which is what we all really need at the moment. And his current role at Uniraza, he is working on advancing applied statistical analytics. So he's involved in various projects using data analysis to help understand performance in social sciences and has particular interest in identifying category of performance, patterns of awareness, and measuring the mental side of healthcare. Right, so that's Dr. Azrul, and I'm going to go to our guest speaker all the way tuning in from Pakistan is Professor Dr. Manzoor Ali Mirani, alumni of Uniraza, Doctor of Philosophy. So Professor Dr. Manzoor Ali Mirani graduated from Uniraza in 2016. Currently, he's the head of department for Department of Business Administration, Shukor IBA University, Pakistan. His area of expertise is entrepreneurship academic, entrepreneurship and strategic management. Okay, have I introduced all of you correctly?
Of course you did.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Okay, that's one part. Okay, I'm really honored to have you on this show because it's really important to quit quickly in order for you to be to have that career advancement. So I'm straight going to go into the questions. Prof. Barjoyai, you'll have the first question. Now, how true is the notion that postgraduate studies can help working adults maximize their potential in their careers? So with your experience as a professor in the academic and professional fields, how can we assist them to ensure the postgraduate programs to enhance and bring their knowledge to a higher level?
Thank you, Amini. Let me just give a small background. Essentially, many people have different thought about the role of university education. Many today have felt that university education should be the end by itself, preparing graduates to assume posts outside as a manager or at least executive. But some others, mostly academicians as well as the older generation, still think that university education is just a mean. A mean means it is actually preparing students for liberal education, including philosophy and the life skill, and hence when they go out and work, they are expected to learn fast from the working environment and become efficient in their work. So the challenge in us managing this university is we need to blend these two, and some of these life skill are things that may not be considered as academic input or academic curriculum that and it may be difficult to actually project this in the university curriculum, and that's the challenge. And that is why session like this will be very useful for students to actually pick up the basic life skill, the basic soft skill for them to blend with the academic input. Of course, at Uniraza, we've been trying to project our professional program. We have an accounting program. We have, of course, our MBA program is considered a professional degree. And it is preparing students to, as far as possible, the latest knowledge, the complete and comprehensive knowledge, that when they go out, they will be ready to assume any post given to them.
Excellent. Okay, I think that is a great answer, because most of the time, like what you said, we prepare students as a mean for them to be ready, to be career ready, to be industry ready. But when they're already in their careers and in their job, and if they do face difficulty to upskill themselves, it is a do or die situation for them. They feel like it's up to them to push themselves to do better. But with universities now offering professional help, and as well as professional learning, continuing education, employees actually can seek out to equip themselves professionally at the university in order for them to advance in their career. So they're not alone in this. They can always seek out help. And this is one of the ways where we're giving you awareness that we have a whole lineup of programs to equip you in this kind of scenario. Now, I'm going to go over to Dr. Manzoor because he is an alumni at Uniraza. I would love to know, like, what have you done and learned to improve yourself professionally during your study time at Uniraza in the past years?
Thank you, Grace.
Yeah.
Joining Uniraza actually was one of my best decisions in life. The main thing that I got there actually, that most of the universities normally equip you with the latest skills and techniques within the academia. But what I learned most during my stay at Uniraza was that it changed my personal narrative to the life and my job that I was already doing. Before joining PhD, I was teaching at a university here. Therefore, I thought that knowledge sharing was one of my biggest aims in life. And I went to PhD actually to enhance or to further sharpen this skill. But when I reached Uniraza, the environment that I received there, the senior professors who were there to guide me, it changed my narrative in a way that knowledge sharing is only one way of looking at the higher studies, especially the postgraduate studies, but it's basically the knowledge creation that we have to learn. And then knowledge sharing is the later stage that is built upon knowledge creation. So all those 3.5 years that I spent within the university as a student, I basically learned how to create a new knowledge in terms of my thesis and writing few papers. And more specifically, a knowledge creation that is going to have a social impact in future, which ultimately enhanced the teaching skills where I could share my knowledge with my students. One of the best things that the graduate programs like Uniraza has, and we all would like to opt, that through our graduate programs, we actually have to create the independent thinkers, where our future PhDs and postgraduates should think independently without seeking help from others and making the strong decisions. And that I'm still taking with me, that I learned these skills other than the basic knowledge in the domain that I went for the PhD. And I appreciate the efforts of all my PhDs, supervisors there, that they helped me learn to create something new, a new knowledge, and to create further impact in the society.
Thank you so much, Encik Manzoor. I think that really answers the question how studying or doing a postgraduate degree can really change your worldview, can even change the narrative. As you said, you came here thinking that you wanted to share knowledge and you wanted to exchange knowledge to bring back to your home country possibly, but in turn you have created new knowledge which would then have a social impact, and one of it is how to create independent thinkers. And I think that is something that's very valuable, and it is something that is definitely really important and needed in the society out there, especially today. So to Dr. Azrul, how does completing a postgraduate program impact one's personal and professional development?
Okay, thank you, Grace. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank to the organizers for inviting me in this program. I'm honored to share the experience, and at the same time, I was able to learn something new. Okay, it's valuable from our panels present today. Okay, a sharing of experiences that we have shared today that cannot be traded. Okay, for your question, okay, finishing studies at the postgraduate level is something that every individual who calls as a student desire. Okay, it doesn't matter if you study full-time or part-time in your postgraduate program. Okay, most important thing, okay, don't compare our journey or our master or our PhD journey with anyone else. Okay, some people, okay, are able to get married during their study. Okay, some people can graduate on time. Okay, GOT. Okay, some people are able to publish many manuscript or article in the Q1 or Q2 journals. Okay, their circumstances allow them to do so. Okay, but focus on our situation and do the best what we can. Okay, some quitters, not because they are not smart, because they are not smart, but because of excessive of the stress. Okay, among the common causes of the stress are because of the financial problem. Okay, and sometimes because of no ideas, they don't know how to start their journey and how to finish their journey. Okay, incompatibility with the supervisors. Okay, supervisors change, supervisors run, so you change the institution. Okay, so this is the problem that will cause our stress as a student. Okay, and sometimes it's a lack of support from our surrounding, our people around. Okay, here I would like to share how during my study time, okay, how I reduce my stress while studying master and PhD. Okay, number one is to pray a lot, of course. Okay, pray a lot. Okay, when we are close to our God, inshallah, God will help us. Okay, and then get some sleep early, get enough sleep, read motivational book, watch a motivational video. Okay, so this is the what we call it, so the step that you can try. Okay, and then one more thing that this is the most important thing lah. I believe that you need to help others a lot. Okay, if we don't understand, we ask. But if anyone else asks, you try to help him. Okay, hopefully in the way we facilitate the affairs of others, okay, inshallah God will also facilitate our affairs, especially from the aspect of the learning. So we believe that learning is one of the ibadah. Okay, that's from me.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Azrul. So it is the motivation and the inspiration that you draw from, and the will to do your postgraduate study. That is enough. The challenges that you face during the postgraduate study is enough to equip you for whatever career advancement and the job that you'll be having. Okay, that's great. Back to you, Prof. Barjoyai. But before that, let me remind viewers, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask any of our speakers today, please feel free to do so. Yeah, just drop a comment or question at the comment box. Okay, Prof. Barjoyai. Now, why should students need to develop professional careers in their lives, and how would being professional benefit the students in person and therefore contribute to the economic development and enhance the country's development of other areas, especially during post-pandemic?
Okay, let's define what is professional. Professional means we are practicing something that is known and that is accepted as some basic standard. For example, a professional accountant is a person who have the minimum knowledge as a professional accountant to practice accounting. And the same thing, an MBA. An MBA graduate is expected to have an overall or comprehensive and integrated knowledge on management to be able to assume posts as manager. But essentially, other than the basic knowledge and skill in a particular discipline, a person, a graduate, an MBA graduate must have certain basic what we call as a life skill and the soft skill. And if I can share you a small diagram, and this is a diagram extracted from a book and this is diagram number 2. This is extracted from a book called Paradigm, written by Professor Dr. Joel Barker back in 1990. And what is important there is it shows the different expectation between the employers and the graduates. So yeah, this is the one. So no, the second one. Yes, this is the one. Okay, this is a diagram extracted from the book, and it is an important thing because you see the yellow oval and the blue oval, and the blue oval is called the old management style. The new oval is the new management style. So if you go for an interview and if you are employed by a particular employer, this is what your employer expects, the blue oval. And what is this blue oval? And you look at this as a form of graph, you see that the most important skill expected of any graduate today is the anticipative skill. And what is this anticipative skill? It is actually the ability to anticipate the future. Not to be a fortune teller, but to be able to project what will happen under normal circumstances and be prepared for it. And for example, today, before we start our car, we will quickly go to Waze and type our destination. And immediately we will know what will be the problem from our end to the destination, and we can plan, and Waze even tell us at what time we will reach the destination. That's an anticipation ability, but that is just for traveling. We want that skill to be adopted for our life. You need to know what will happen tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and so on. And not only for yourself, but for your post, for your company. And if we can anticipate the future, we can actually anticipate the problem that we will be meeting in the future, and we can avoid problem. And so the future is about avoiding problem, no longer about solving problem. Problem solving is the old management style. So that's an important skill. In the business school, we still focus on problem solving, but we expect students to be working on this anticipation skill through case study, through some work assignment, some class deliberation, and so on. So students must always be on the toe and thinking about the future. That's the most important skill expected by employer today, for example.
Thank you so much for that really good, very brief description of how now employees need to be equipped even before the problem comes. So they need to be, they need to know how to project what problem is coming instead of the problem already being here and then trying to find a solution. So so wording problem that you said is, I think it's a really brilliant thing that our students here are equipped to even detect future challenges and problems that the company may have. I'm sorry to cut you short because I'm going to go over to Dr. Manzoor since he has to leave in a few minutes time, and I would like to get as much from him as possible before he leaves. So Dr. Manzoor, now is your study helpful in your career right now? Was your study at Uniraza in Malaysia helpful for your career right now as the head of department in your university that you're with? And do you still keep in touch with your lecturers here at Uniraza to seek advice? And please also tell us what are the challenges and obstacles that you have faced during the pandemic as an academician in your country?
Thank you, Grace. I am one of the very fortunate persons that what exactly I learned during my stay at Uniraza. The God Almighty has given me the chance to implement the same within an academic institution like my university. Although many important things Prof. Bardai already covered, and we had been discussing such with him during my stay there. But what are the most things that I have been using right now that I learned and that later on few added that leadership skills are very important during your learning in postgraduate studies, specifically in the PhDs. That of course I definitely did there, which I have been properly using, because right now as a head of business school here, I have a team of 70 faculty members and around 3,000 students in my business school. It's basically huge. So few important things that I regularly use to, and I need that, and I refer to my PhD and the thought processes or the mental models that I developed during my PhD there. And luckily, my area of studies was the academic entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial university. So I believe leadership is one of the most important element that I have been consistently using and giving it a rethought when I was there. Another approach that I normally see that along with problem solving itself is not enough because it's a traditional approach. But right now, during my see that we have to come up with some out-of-box thinking, some innovative solutions, because we face new problems. Like since COVID-19, we are in a difficult situation. So the normal methods, procedures that we used to adopt as faculty members in our schools, and of course our graduates that go into their professional world, they are still finding that those traditional models are not enough for them. So the innovative thinking or out-of-box thinking must be added to the normal problem-solving skills that we have. And in today's world, in pandemic and in these situations, I have learned that is the collaborative thinking and collaborative decision-making. I, as a head of department, do not make the decisions in isolation. I learned that during my research with my supervisors and professors that we always have to collaborate. Therefore, I take my team members with me, and we all make collaborative decisions so that finally when we implement them, we do not face too much resistance in our decision making. One of the most important things that we have learned from the pandemic and for our decisions, we did not include, that is the futuristic approach now. Then we have to see that because we make strategic decisions, we have to see that what decision we are going to take today, whether that will be useful for my graduates, that when after completion of their graduation after 4 years, what we teach them today, whether it is going to be useful for them after 4 years or the worldview would change. So we always try to incorporate that futuristic approach in our decisions. Our decisions should have some long-term effect. But above all, when I say that it is an overarching approach, that is the ethical approach that we at our university and personally myself try to cover everything, that none of our decisions, none of our physical move or any policy or rule should be against the ethical principles. Because we work in the diverse nation, we have different diverse languages, we have diverse religions, although we are a majority Muslim country, but we have multiple other religions. We have so many, more than 100 plus languages spoken in our country, and definitely other schools of thought. So I believe that within these ethical phenomena must be covered for all of us. And thank you to my professors there, that whenever we worked in Uniraza, ethics was also a main concern there, not only for studies that for the intellectual property point of view, but the ethical approach in all the decisions and on daily basis moves that move. In terms of a few challenges that we normally face during the pandemic, the biggest challenge that we faced during the pandemic was the motivation of faculty and students to switch online, because the stress was there, uncertainty was very common in the environment. So we had to work a lot to overcome our faculty and students, especially from their behavioral side, to cover up that yes, we can do it. We, all the academic leaders in our university, we led by example, and we supported our faculty members who were on campus and even those who were working from home. So it took us a little bit time, but it was a huge challenge for us to cover, because all of a sudden we had to move on the online platform. In the end, I will have some advices from my past experiences, although my senior professors are there, that focus is very important these days. Especially we see that these technical gadgets are the new technology coming day by day. The focus of our graduates is divided into multiple aspects. I believe, and I will advise the new graduates to focus on their work and proper time management for all these activities. One important thing that students miss, that is the network. No one can work or live in isolation. Networking is very important. Either it is academic networking or it is professional networking, but I will insist on it that individuals, either students, my faculty members, or any people who are in any type of profession, please do not work in isolation. Collaborate with the individuals, network with the individuals. This has always been helpful for me and for my team, that we have been able to develop very innovative solutions when we collaborate with others, other than working in isolation. One of the two important things, that is the please always take care of environment and ethics. We have done a lot with our environment, so our future decisions, whatever the studies in terms of research you make, please take care of the environment so that we can protect our planet. That's from my side few findings. Grace, over to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manzoor, for those good nuggets of truth that you have shared with us. I like that. One thing that you could take from Uniraza to apply most immediately at your university is the collaborative decision making. So that came from your experience here, and I'm sure that it has benefited you a lot. And I like what you said about the importance of building good networks throughout your not just study life, but as well as your career, because that will definitely bring you a lot of benefit in terms of advancing your career, in terms of gathering knowledge and applying them immediately. And also your advice to everyone is to take care of the environment and also the ethics. So we believe that that is also very important, especially now, and ethics has always been upheld over here. So Dr. Manzoor, I understand that you are pressed for time and you may go offline whenever you need to, okay? All right. Okay, we are back to Dr. Azrul. You have been quiet, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. Now, in your opinion, is the pandemic situation the best time for them to further postgraduate study, and what are the relevant research topic or areas for them to research, considering the current pandemic, which leads to recession almost everywhere and almost every sector? And as you know, of course, the COVID-19 has impacted globally in these terms. So could you please share with us a little bit about research and things like that?
Okay, thank you, Grace. Okay, many people think that during this pandemic is inappropriate time to continue or to further our study. In fact, some may think taking study leave is the best move at the moment. Okay, actually, we were wrong. Okay, the learning session or the learning process went on as usual, but in a new normal state. Okay, so we call it, this is what we call is a new norm. Okay, the process of learning and teaching that used to take place face-to-face is now changing in a virtual world, okay, to ensure the continuity of learning. Okay, no matter how we are in university or maybe we are in school, so we have to face this one. Okay, if in the past, okay, lectures or teachers may more comfortable with teaching traditionally, face-to-face with student in class using marker and whiteboard, okay, while the projector as a teaching aid. Okay, since the government enacted the first level of the movement control order (MCO) last year, okay, at that time all educators, including lecturers and teachers, okay, felt that the paradigm shift in practice was difficult to pass because it was mandatory, okay, to use a virtual teaching. Okay, but now after going through the MCO 2.0, everything has changed 360. It's a rotation, okay, changed 360 degrees. Okay, like it or not, all educators have to change the way they teach. Okay, teachers need to follow the trend, have to upgrade their handphone, okay, so that it is more up to date, okay, to be used online teaching session. Okay, in my opinion, okay, either you are full-time or part-time enroll with your program, okay, MBA program or master program or PhD program, it's just a mode. Okay, it's just a mode to study according to the student situation. If you work and wish to continue your study, basically it's a postgraduate studies, you can take the part-time mode, okay, because the time given to complete your study is longer compared to full-time student. If you are not working, it's the best, okay, to take a full-time mode and focus on the research. Okay, based on my observation, studying part-time is quite challenging. Because of why? If you are also work full-time, because you have to wisely divide your time and your energy as well. Okay, so that's my my concern and my opinion. Okay, go back to your Grace.
So much. Thank you for giving a very honest opinion about we are not blanketing anything here. If you are working full-time, doing your postgraduate study part-time will be a challenge, okay? So nothing sugar-coated here. You need to put that extra effort and things like that. But Dr. Azrul says, if you are not working, this would be actually the best time for you to consider doing your postgraduate studies. Right, now we are coming to the highlight of today's show. I know it's a bit late. We are supposed to end, but please bear with us for at least another 15 minutes. Now, we are going to ask Professor Barjoyai, what are the 6 effective ways to develop yourself professionally in today's fast-paced world? So, Prof. Barjoyai, please take the show away. And to the rest out there, I hope you have your pen or your notes ready in order to just note down what are the 6 effective ways to develop yourself professionally today.
Thank you, Grace. The first one I projected just now is to have an active mind, to keep anticipating, to always predict what will happen in future and try to prepare for the future, try to identify future problem, and by solving future problem, you actually create a new opportunity. Okay. Next, the second one is next slide, please. Yeah, this is an important thing. We all our life we have been thinking, and actually most of us have never gone through a formal thinking course, and nevertheless we are thinking quite efficiently, and everybody say that we are employing logical thinking. But most of us actually do not understand what logical thinking means. Logical thinking is basically a process of always referring to your database in your thinking. And our database is called the logic base, and this comprises of our life culture, way of life, basic perception, norms and regulation. Perception is what we understand of thing in front of us, and every one of us may have different perception of the same thing, but we are still keeping that as our basic logic base. And this is a logic bubble, borrowing the terms used by Professor Dr. Edward Di Bono, and this is basically shielded by this wall, a thick wall called ego. And logical thinking is also called the judgmental thinking. And what it means is that we will look thing in front of us, and we will try to fit it with our basic logic base. And if it fits, we say that it is right. And when it does not fit, we say that it is wrong. So it is logical, judgmental thinking, because we are always judging others. And ego will not allow us to go against our logic. That means our logic base is our thinking base, and whatever is in the logic base is what we accept as right. The problem with this is that we collected this logic base from the information, the life culture, from the day we were born. Depending on how we look at life, we will have different logic base. And as we grow up, some of this logic base may have become rather out of date, and some may become out of place because we were brought up in the village and now we are in the city, and so on. And the problem is we still apply our logic base, and that's the problem with our thinking today. And because of that, we are being handicapped by our logic base. We are trapped by this thinking in the box, like Prof. Dr. Manzoor was saying just now. Basically, we always rely on what is in the box. And what we need to do is to free ourselves a little bit, not all, a little bit. And this is by engaging into another thinking called the creative thinking. Next slide, please. And in creative thinking, there is this paradox. The paradox is our teachers, our boss, our parent always promote us to be creative. Please be creative. And creative means you need to generate creative ideas. And so we have been brought up to accept the fact that all creative ideas are new ideas. And all new ideas are good ideas, because we need these good ideas. We need these new ideas. But the problem is, all new ideas will not fit into our logic base, because ideas that is already heard and accepted by logic base are old, stale ideas. New ideas are not there in our logic base. That is why it is called new. And so when we try to fit new ideas with our logic base, it always does not fit. And we end up labeling it as wrong ideas. And when we label it as wrong ideas, what happens? We will throw it out as wrong idea. So all our life, we've been chopping new ideas and good ideas. And we will never be able to come up with new ideas or creative ideas. So actually, creative thinking is about how dare you are in a thinking. So you need to be daring, you need to be brave in thinking. Why? Because you need to be willing to think wrong. And all new ideas are wrong ideas. So you need to pick this up as a very important point in your life, that you need to think wrong sometime, not all the time. For example, as a Muslim, we believe that you cannot change the Quran and the Al-Hadith, because that is all right. But you can change a lot of other things in your life slowly, not everything at once. You can keep on introducing new ideas, and that's what we call as creative ideas. Next, that's number 2. Yeah, this is a simple way of how to think creatively. Basically, what you need to do is always do this mental exercise whenever you are free. Start with a reverse engineering where you look at the existing product, existing object, try to dismantle it in your mind so that you will see that in bits and pieces, and then you will provoke yourself by escaping from the logic, by removing the most important aspect of that piece that you have dismantled, and then push it forward to create new useful idea. For example, we can think about a motor car without wheel, motor car without engine, motor car without seat, whatever. I mean, and so this is just a beginning of a creative idea to purposely create wrong ideas. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is what has been mentioned also by Prof. Manzoor earlier, that two important things: universal value and ethic. Universal values are all the positive value that we must inculcate in ourselves, and this must become the base. This must be a part of our important logic base. So we will keep on referring to it whenever we are thinking. This is respect, peace, honesty, truth, responsibility, solidarity, cooperation, and tolerance. Universal value means it is accepted worldwide. It is accepted by any religion. It is accepted by the atheists even. Yeah. Next is the applications of that universal value into a specific business ethic, and we are teaching this course, business ethic, in our MBA program. It is a compulsory course. We want to inculcate this 12 ethical principle for business executive: commitment to excellence, law-abiding, honesty, respect for others, loyalty, accountability, reputations and morale, leadership, fairness, concern for others, integrity, and keeping promise. Okay, so that's an important aspect. And finally, next slide. The one before last. This is a soft skill that we must have. Today, we are living in this materialistic society where everybody are thinking about themselves and everybody are thinking about free enterprise and so on. But we have to remember that all of us have emotion, and we need to manage our emotion. This is a very important thing. Dr. Manzoor talked about leadership, and leadership is about actually harnessing emotion. So first of all, we need to understand and identify our own emotion at any time, because emotion will change. This is a dynamic world. And then we need to self-regulate our emotion so that we will always be suppressing our ego. We will not be an egocentric person, for example. And we then use this skill to identify other people's emotion, and this is called empathy. We need to identify our colleague, our friends, how are they, the states of their emotion now, and then we will be trying to take care by showing our empathy. And when we harness all this emotion, we create this motivation, and we become a natural leader. So this is an important aspect in our life. And finally, the last slide, and this is the inquiry-based self-learning. In this era of information explosion, there is no way that a university can ever teach all the knowledge and skill that are needed by a person, because things keep advancing, keep changing. And so we have to teach our students on how to fish new knowledge rather than keep on feeding them with fish. And this is essentially teaching them on how to search for knowledge, organize knowledge, present knowledge, and basically questioning about knowledge. So if we have all this skill, we will feel that we are complete in the sense that we are independent, we are a natural leader, we control our emotion, we control our thought, and we are liberalized. Wallahu alam.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Barjoyai. I don't know how you managed to really summarize all that very compact golden nuggets of how to, to improve yourself professionally at the career and as well as life in general. But I think I'm sure people would have got a lot of information from there. Basically the integration of intrinsic values really play a huge role in your advancement. So I think one has to inculcate either one or more of the things that you have shared in order to really elevate themselves either professionally or even academically or even in any aspects of one's life. Okay, thank you again so much for sharing that with us. I would like to go over to Dr. Azrul. How do you yourself help Uniraza students to balance working in a fast-paced environment and study?
Okay. Thank you, Grace. Okay, I'm very proud to be here for today. Okay, because I believe that I heard from the Prof. Barjoyai, it looks like a lecture. Okay, so I missed this moment. I missed this moment almost 15 years as a student. Okay, for your information, I use your book, Prof. Okay, during my degree time. Okay, I'm majoring in economics. Okay, mathematics and economics. Okay, one of the subject is accounting. So I use your textbook as a reference. So that's the moment that I missed almost 15 years back. Okay. I remember the words of wisdom from Luqman al-Hakim advice to his son. Okay, my son, if since childhood you have been diligent in studying and seeking knowledge, later you will pick the fruit and enjoy it. So we believe this. Okay, and then if you are thinking that master and PhD resume is still relevant for better jobs and salaries, okay, this is I believe that this is one of the topic that many people often discuss and disagree with. Okay, some say that there is no need to continue our study. Okay, either keep working and use the experience to climb the ladder or build a career. Okay, some say that taking a master or PhD can increase your salary, okay, and get a more lucrative job. Okay, for me, it's both at once. Okay, in some industry, for example, in the manufacturing sector, to hold a managerial position, okay, a master qualification become a priority. Okay, if you want to be an educator, okay, such as a lecturer, okay, then master and PhD are a good choices. Okay, if you want a job related to research, okay, connecting master is also a good option for me. Okay, the reason is that this master and PhD is not just a certificate and qualification, but also educates us to think in a new way. Okay, some technical jobs such as data scientist also accept master and PhD holder. So me myself, okay, my background is statistical. It's statistic. Okay, I'm teaching data mining, data management. Even though our student is has been introduced the way how we play around with the data, but they have to make a decision, okay, based on the problem, based on the result that we have faced. Okay, so this is the process that we have learned during the master or PhD. Even though you are taking other than research related, but you have to follow the educational process. Okay, but okay, if salary is the reason why you want to pursue your master or PhD, okay, I'm thinking that it's good to you to forget that intention. Okay, the reason is that master and PhD do not guarantee higher salaries than degree holders who have long experience in the industry, maybe. Okay, in fact, master and PhD do not guarantee you to employ any opportunities. Okay, the important thing is if you are sincere to seek your knowledge, to seek knowledge, okay, and strive to practice it, I believe it's definitely worth your sacrifice and time. Okay, and one word I can say, I can share here: whoever fails to plan, he plans to fail. Okay, so this is the common statement that we have heard before. Okay, before starting master or PhD studies, it is best if we make a plan. Okay, and I will believe that Prof Barjoyai and Dr. Manzoor saying about the plan, the connection. Okay, you have to plan from the starting a day, okay, the single day that you enroll in the program until you finish. Okay, among the things that we need to plan are number one is a requirement for the graduation. So I believe that if you are enrolled with the PhD, so you have to know how many paper or how many article that you have to publish to make sure that you are graduate. Okay, number two is a financing. Okay, finance. Okay, identify what financial resources that available with and suit with you. Okay, and the number three is activity. Okay, you have to plan your activity. Make sure that your enrollment period, for example, if you are 2 years in the master or 3 years in the PhD, so you have to plan the whole activities throughout your study. For example, if you are enrolled with the PhD, I'm giving you an example lah. Okay, you have to prepare your proposal during the presentation of the proposal defense. Okay, your publication, and then you have to write your thesis, chapter 1 until chapter 5, and then you make a correction. Okay, you are attending the pre-viva and viva presentation, and last but not least, your final thesis correction, which is you get some feedback from the internal and external examiner. So maybe what we planned, okay, didn't turn out as we expected, but at least we know what needs to be done to get finish our study. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Azrul, for clearing the air on actually why do we embark on a postgraduate study. It's not just about trying to get a promotion or trying to get a better job, but that it involves and inculcates so much more than that. It's about, you know, getting all the right skills, the right values, and you learn so much more that in turn can be applied in your workplace, and that will elevate your position at the workplace and hopefully get a career jump or promotion and things like that. So thank you so much, Dr. Azrul. Prof Barjoyai, this is one of our last questions before we end today's session. Could you brief us what are the programs offered in the Graduate School of Business that could enhance our viewers' career to be more professional and fit for the current job market post-pandemic situation?
Thank you. Currently, we have a few programs running. We have the MBA program specializing in various fields, the strategic management, the marketing, human resource, and we also have a masters of management, masters in human resource, and we have a masters in philosophy program that is good for those who intends to pursue PhD, but use this as a bridge, go for 1 year of MPhil program, and after that convert that into a PhD program. We have a program that is run on campus. We also have program that is run on modular basis, and that allow actually the current person that is working to embark into this program during weekend as part-time program, and this will allow them to enhance their qualification. Though, like Prof. Dr. Azrul said, that not necessary to increase salary, but this is to increase knowledge, and when you enhance your knowledge, you will be more recognized by your employers, and you will fit into a new opportunity, career opportunity in the future. To me, perhaps in the future, Uniraza should be working on what we can call as a smart MBA program, where we should allow potential students that are currently working in industry without academic qualification to actually pursue our program by registering piece by piece courses in the MBA curriculum, and they will collect these courses after 12 months or 15 months. They would complete the whole courses and be eligible to get a master's degree. The same thing we should be pursuing in the future on the industry master's degree, which allow people who are currently working in industry to enroll into the program, but continue working in industry and will be working with their manager as a supervisor, as adjunct faculty, and will be evaluated by this adjunct faculty, and after completing 10 or 12 courses over a year, will be eligible to get a degree, for example. This should be the directions, the future directions of academic and business school, especially with university like Uniraza.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Barjoyai, for that and the advice as well. I think we had a really good discussion today to know what can a postgraduate do for you, for your career, for your life, and how to elevate yourself with all the necessary skills that you need to have that not just industry readiness, but also to like what Dr. Manzoor mentioned earlier, to change the narrative of your life, in fact. So I'm really glad that we have here Prof. Barjoyai and also Dr. Azrul to share with us all the nuggets of wisdom that is being taught at Uniraza and at the Graduate School of Business in particular. I hope that the viewers out there, if you have any question to ask, thank you for all the highs that you've been saying, but if you have any question to ask, please contact the phone numbers below. We are more than welcome to ask or inquire about our programs. So I would like to take this opportunity and time to thank our speakers here again for availing their precious time to be with us at a rush hour, and also to share with all our viewers out there on the importance of having a postgraduate. So thank you again, Prof. Barjoyai, and thank you, Dr. Azrul, for being with us and sharing lots of things with us. Okay, all right, and have no problem. Have a great weekend. I'm going to be announcing some important announcement for our viewers consideration. Now, our MARA TESP and GREP online application is open now until 19th March 2021. So please grab this opportunity to see if you're eligible to have this scholarship and study at Uniraza. Uniraza's March Intake 2021 is still open, although we did our registration last week. But please visit www.uniraza.edu.my to apply. You can also call us at the number that is below 0327891599 or WhatsApp us at 014-337-2925. And you could email us as well to Dr. Joe, drjo@uniraza.edu.my. Don't forget to follow My Uniraza on Facebook and Instagram subscribe to my Uniraza YouTube channel, and stay tuned for our upcoming events with more interesting topics at your TikTok live sessions. Now, don't forget to keep your social distance and stay safe, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again next week.